Good morning, children. Sarah. So, today we are going to continue with the leftover portion of this poem, that is chapter number 7, Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. Children, when we talk about mind without fear, what inference do you derive from this particular phrase? A mind without fear. Can anyone of you tell? See, when we are talking about a mind without fear means that a person, or you can say people, living without any pressure, having no fear of any kind, that is, having and expecting no fear of expression, no fear of expressing his or her own thoughts and views, and to live a life which is, you can say, abundant of freedom, which is abundant of freedom. Freedom doesn't mean that you can do anything anywhere. Freedom itself brings along with you a lot of duties. See, children, even we have studied, when we talk about rights, we have to fulfill some duties. When we talk about rights, we have some duties as well. So when we talk about freedom, we have to look after this concept that whatever privileges we are enjoying, we are rejoicing, we should actually respect them, and we actually should value their work. Okay, getting back to the poem. By the first two lines, I think they are clear to you. I want to continue with the third line. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. The reason behind getting this poem back is that some of the children said that they are not able to understand the poem properly. So, as you all have got your PDF, I mean this written work of this chapter with you, I hope this will help you out to understand the poem much better, much in a much better and clearer form. Fine, children. And one more important thing, children, be ready for your some internal assignments and internal activities. You will be organizing the work. You will be completing your work in your English Fair notebook itself. Whatever work I will be giving to you for your internal assessments, that is book submission as well as subject enrichment. This work you need not do anywhere else. This work you will be doing in your English as well as social science fair notebooks. I repeat, this work has to be done. You have to do your internal assessment plus your subject enrichment work, which will be assigned by me to you in your respective fair notebooks. Fine, children, you do not have to make any other separate file or any other thing, any other you can say folder. You simply have to prepare it in your fair notebooks. Okay, children, and when you have to submit, the soon will be decided. Okay, getting back to the poem. Now, when the poet, when the author says, Rabindranath Tagore says that the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, what does this mean? Can you think of it? What are fragments? First of all, fragments are pieces, that is what you cut off from the mainstream. Suppose you have a big rock, and due to weathering, it gets you can say some cracks appear on that rock. And what happens after a tenure of time, after a period of time, what happens? The pieces of a big rock, that is, you can say small pieces of rocks, starts emerging out of the big rock, a particular big stone and rock. Fine. And those separated pieces are called as fragments. Those, it is just an example. It is not that fragments can be of only rock. It can be of anything. Pieces, that is something which has been cut from its main roots. Fine. Now, here over Tagore says that the world, he is imagining a country, a place which he is imagining. It should not be divided into pieces, separate and segregate pieces. Instead, it should be united, it should be unitary. And when he says that by narrow domestic walls, what are narrow domestic walls? That is walls of ignorance, hatred, destruction, envy, jealousy. And basically, when we talk about narrow domestic walls, it means getting to the mean mentality, or you can say narrow-mindedness. Okay, narrow-mindedness of the society. And who is society? Society is we ourselves, the people living in the society itself. Where words come out from the depth of truth, that is, people speak truth to each other. They are true to each other. They do not, you can say, they do not try to cheat anyone. They try to respect each other's feelings as well as criteria. They do not betray, they do not try to betray. They do not have that tendency of infidelity, of getting, or you can say, getting set a conspiracy for yourself, for anyone, for anyone. They try to be pure and honest. A country where people respect as well as cooperate with each other. Now, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, that is, this perfection, that is, people, perfection. What is the meaning of perfection? Underneath it is given the state of being complete and correct, right? Perfection means that you are honest, you are accurate, you are correct, and whatever work you are doing, whatever effort you are putting, it is 100% complete and appropriate. As in, take a small example. If you are doing, if a small homework is given by a teacher to their students, to his or her students, what happens? Some children do it from the heart. That is, they will think, they'll ask, they'll inquire, they will collect information, they'll discuss with their teachers, they'll discuss with their parents, they'll discuss each and everything wherever possible and whatever is possible for completing that work. Fine. And what some children do, what some of the students will be doing, they copy their work. What do? They copy their work. Whatever somebody has done, the children who are least interested with the studies, they'll copy their work, their hard work. So by this, what is happening? Don't you think that the teacher knows? Teacher comes to know that this child has worked himself and this child has copied from somebody else. So imitation and originality both have a difference. Original work, true work, and honest dedication reflects by the work a person gives or does. So that is what he says. When we are moving towards perfection, we ought to be very hardworking. We become very hardworking if we want perfection. We do not neglect, we do not ignore petty things. We try to give our 10% or 100% contribution, dedication to our work, and we enjoy it also. Once you feel that yes, I want to give a perfect work to myself, not to anyone, neither to the teacher nor to the parents, but when you feel that yes, I have to be perfect, my work has to be perfect, your efforts, your initiative, and your gestures all will combine and will motivate you to move in the right direction to get the right goal. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, that is, clear stream of reason means a clear cause of an event or situation for an explanation. Clear stream of reason doesn't mean a clear stream that is any particular line or a lane. It means a particular cause of accuracy, or you can say situation for explanation, that yes, we are working towards this goal and we are putting this effort in such a manner that it should develop and as well as encourage other people also and motivate on the other side, so the people grow ahead and come forward to join us for the sake of development of the country, for development of each other. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Now, what is dreary desert? When it talks about dreary desert, initially means a large, vast desert where anyone can be lost and anyone can die because of the, you can say, absence of life, and existence, survival. It becomes very, you can say, haunting if you're moving. You must have read about deserts, that deserts are famous for one of its characteristic feature. Even if you are moving a lot in the desert and you do not have a person to take you, guide you to the right path, you'll keep on moving on one place itself. You can't move in, you cannot find your goal, your destination. You need a particular guidance, where to go, how to move, because desert is a far gold sea. Exactly, it's a golden sea where you keep on moving and moving, and you're not able to understand where to come off the shore. Fine. Now, why the poet has compared the dreary desert sand of dead habit? What is the sand of dead habits? Why? What is the dead habit? Whose habits? Habits is our nature, our attitude, our perspectives towards our interests, the interests we cater to our country, whether it is socio-cultural, pertaining to heritage, language, socio-economic, anything. Okay, the interest which dies with the passage of time for the sake of, you can say, development, for the for the sake of encouragement. Fine, children. Where the mind is led forward by thee, where your mind is led forward by you itself, that is by the people itself, into ever widening thought and action, that is continuous thoughts that last forever, your initiatives, your efforts which last forever and do not actually feel that yes, we have to stop. We feel that we do not have to stop, we have to move on continuously without looking forward, without thinking about the results, because if we are putting our accurate as well as dedicated efforts, we'll definitely come up with the expected results as well. For example, if you're preparing for your exams and you're studying well, definitely you'll score good. But when you've not completed your work, even when you've not studied, when you're not even thorough with your concepts, then how will you achieve a good result? It is very simple. If you will study properly, you'll get good marks. Suppose, okay, not every time studies, we'll talk about something else. Suppose you want to have a yummy dish, okay, and you want to eat it, and you want to make it for yourself and family and your family members. If you are not putting the right quantity of ingredients in that dish, will you be able to have that dish? No. And if you are making, suppose you are making a sweet dish, and if instead of sugar you are adding or you are mixing salt in it, will you get a particular thing? I mean, desired dish, your favorite desired sweet dish? No, you will not be able to get that sweet dish. It will be instead a disaster dish, isn't it? So that is what the poet is trying to explain to all of you, that is we the readers. He tries to explain the readers that without the appropriate as well as accurate effort, you can never get the best output. Okay. And last he says, in that heaven of freedom my father led my country away. In that heaven of freedom my father led my country away. That is, he says, he is appealing. Whose father? My father is referred to God. Okay. The who is speaking this line? This line is spoken by the author himself, that is Rabindranath Tagore. And to whom is he addressing? He is addressing to the Almighty God. Okay. And he says that he appeals, makes an appeal to the Almighty God, that let my country awake in a nation. Let my country and the people, my countrymen, my country people, wake up in a heaven where freedom is apt and abundant. Nobody is having any, you can say, grudges as well as discriminated mindset for anyone. Hope you've understood this poem, children. Thank you. And Sairam for actually putting up your efforts in understanding what I'm explaining, what we explain to you. So after this, I want to explain you one more thing, that whatever work you're getting from my side, do not leave pages for anything. Whatever work you get on whichever date, you kindly put the date and keep on doing the work. Fine, children? No need to hesitate. Even if you have problem, please come up to me. Okay? There's no need to worry. And another thing is your numbers, your mobile numbers. Children, hope this video of mine is going to every student of my class. Children, please do not change your mobile numbers. It actually creates a little bit problem. If you know that yes, this is the number which we have to submit, which is available for us, or we can easily access the videos from this number, do provide that number. If there is any change, children, please confirm, because after some time you will be having your half-yearly exams also. So do not be careless and provide your accurate mobile numbers, even still if you have changed. Okay, children? Thank you and Saira.